These are in listen-only mode.
All right, now we're not muted. All right, we're in business.
All right, we're going to start here in just a couple minutes. Do it a little bit different today. All right, sounds good. Pamela says sounds good. That was going to be my first question. Patrick, if you guys don't know, normally does these Monday presentations. It is his wife's birthday, so he's taking the day off, and I'm going to be filling in his spot. I am the younger, better-looking Zielbauer, so you're in for a treat. All right, guys, just a couple minutes. Before we get going, though, I'm actually really curious because there's a good amount of people in here. Patrick does these presentations every Monday, but so I don't get to see this information. And you have like a message box in the top right hand corner of your computer. Is anyone here a non-Infinity Futures account holder? Hey, Michelle. Okay, so Dudley is, Jerome, non-account holder. Got it. Still haven't funded my account yet. Okay, fair enough. All right, so obviously these presentations are geared to using our instance of ATCharts, which is ATCharts. So that's why I was kind of curious to know if you are attending this presentation, what's the point if you're not already on the software or your intention is to. So I just, we deal with a lot of individuals, a lot of particular characters, and we want to see first why you guys are coming to these presentations, and then secondly, what you guys want to see. So I appreciate the feedback, guys. It's 3:30 on the dot, Monday, August 20th. Can you believe it? The kids are going back to school, right, guys? So it's time for the markets to start rocking and rolling. Time for volatility to start hitting these markets again, and everyone's going to start trading, hopefully. But before we get into the grit of it, nice. Thanks, Lawrence. Glad you're with us. Before we get into the grit of it, I have to go over something that's very important. As I'm sure you guys have seen a bunch, and it is a risk disclosure statement. Trading futures, options on futures, and retail off-exchange foreign currency transactions involve substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your circumstances, knowledge, and financial resources. You may lose all or more of your initial investment. Opinions, market data, and recommendations are subject to change at any time. Past performance is not indicative of future results. So everyone has their own amount of risk capital that they're going to dedicate and put towards an account. If you do not know what that number is, just call your rep here. I'm happy to I'll walk you through that. And then secondly, risk capital is money that you can afford to lose. It is not going to change your current lifestyle or retirement horizon. It's going to have no impact on your regular day-to-day if you did lose, okay? So that being said, let's do it. So first thing that we want to do is log into our Infinity AT account. So as you guys are aware, this is, let me see if the view is all right. I want to do audience view. Okay, looks like we're on the same page. Cool. Okay, so there are two pieces of technology when you open and fund an Infinity AT account, even when you have a demo account, right? There's one program that's called Infinity AT. That's our proprietary software pre-connected to our data feed, and it's what you use, the mechanism that you use to populate the dome to place trades off of. Now, over the years, we had a large amount of traders that were using ATCharts. So previous to this instance of software, you would have to log into both Infinity AT, populate that to trade off the dome, and then secondly, you would have to log in separately to ATCharts and then connect the dots between, or data between ATCharts and Infinity. And we just saw a good avenue of investment. So what we did is we got our developers to not only embed Sierra with our program, but also pre-connected to our data feed. So it's just a seamless, easy way to log in using one username and password. The billing for ATCharts or Sierra comes directly out of your Infinity accounts. You don't have to put a credit card on file with us to bill separately. It's just really, really easy to work with. One second, someone's calling me. Sorry about that. I'm telling you this because not only should you know how to use the software, but you should know about what's underneath the hood, in essence. You know, you should know how it's manufactured. One highlighted point about Infinity is we control both so it's basically ATCharts, Lance. It is ATCharts. It's just pre-connected to our data feed and billed through us. So ATCharts is ATCharts level 5 data, which is their like highest tier of data, already pre-connected to us, and we offer it for free. And from what I understand, if you go to ATCharts directly, level 5, I think it's about $35 a month. So we provide ATCharts level 5 with our data, so you don't have to deal with a third-party data provider for free if you execute 10 round trips on a 30-day billing cycle. If you do not, then $19.95 will come out of your account. Obviously, that's already less than $35. So no matter what, it is an excellent, excellent deal. You know, when I first started, I think it was 8, 9, 10 years ago, a long time ago, people were paying like $500 a month for charts. I mean, and like an extra, a couple $100 for data each month. It's finally gotten to an efficient environment where you don't have to pay that anymore. And it functions just like one of these $500 charting programs. You just don't need it Sierra is pretty incredible on the ability to customize any aspect of the program. It just, you know, you don't want to deal with a company that you're dealing with a charting provider, a data feed, a clearing firm, a brokerage, and you just have all these hands in the cookie jar so that one system fails. It's not going to it's going to be the blame game, which frequently happens in this industry. I hear horror stories all the time. It just, you know, it's the data fault, it's the data's fault, it's the clearing firm's fault, it's the service provider's fault, it's the charting company. It's not like that with us. We keep everything nice and clean. Okay, so I mean, that you guys should know that. And so there are two instances. Oh, whoops, let me log back in. I forgot that there was that maintenance period. So I just relaunched the software. Hold on one second. All right, so two pieces, right? This is what we reference as the Infinity AT quote board. The main purpose of it is to add the markets that you want to trade and then populate a DOM or a depth of market screen. So let's cover this because trading off the charts has to deal directly with using the DOM as well. So in the middle of this quote board, there's a drop-down menu. Select the drop-down. You can scroll. These are all the instruments that are available. In a demo environment, you will notice that there aren't instruments such as the FDAX and any Eurex products in the demo. It's because Eurex bills for data. But you can kind of weed through and see that there is a bunch, okay? Let me just go to the ES, where are you at? ESU8, U stands for September, 8 stands for 2018. I'm going to click the blue plus sign and add the market to the quote board. Can't see any much data right now because there's not much trading in between regular market hours, okay? So here's the S&P. If I wanted to populate a DOM, which stands for a depth of market screen for the S&P, all I got to do is click this blue arrow that points down in the D column, and you'll see this populate. Now this is the DOM, depth of market, trading ladder. Everything has 5 different words for it in this industry, seems like. But this is basically the mechanism that you're going to be using to execute the trades if you want to trade off the DOM itself. My personal preference is trading off the DOM. I think it's a lot cleaner, easier. So when stuff's moving around, you don't have to deal with right click, left click, all that. However, I think it's a cool feature in what we'll be covering in this presentation that throughout our time, we finally have the ability to create an environment where the DOM or the execution ladder is in communication with the charts now. So the DOM communicates with the charts. So you can actually place a trade directly off the DOM and see that order populate on the chart. So a lot of people like trading off the DOM, and then their stop is going to be resting on the exchange. And then you can click and drag and manipulate the order or modify the open order on the charting software, okay? So in order to do that, first we need to tell the charts, ATCharts, that we want to communicate, and anything that we do off the DOM, we want to see that populate in the charts, okay? Let me pull up a clean chart. Indexes, yeah, here we go. All right. I'm just moving this around, and all I'm doing is to move this around, guys. I'm left clicking and dragging in the price axis, and so you can see you can expand and contrast. So I'm taking my cursor, literally put it in the price axis, and then clicking and dragging. I have volume on the bottom. If I want to minimize or tighten this up a little bit, I just take my left cursor, put it where volume is. You can see right here a little black bar populates. And then I am clicking and dragging this down, bam, bada boom, to make that smaller, okay? Now I have some, regular stuff on here. If you looked at my previous presentation that's on the Charting Club, I have the average daily range just to measure volatility. Today, obviously, there wasn't too much volume in the market. Looks like the daily range was just 10.5 points. That's not ideal, especially for August. Looks like there's not any trades coming in through this. Let's see if I can get something so we can at least see some ticks of data. Maybe RTY. This doesn't look like any trades are really happening in the market right now. All I'm doing is clicking launch onto account. There we go. There's data. And it launches a separate instance of the software, so you don't have to manually log out of everything, log back in. Yeah, CL definitely is trading, Richard, but I just pulled up the S&P and RTY. And if you guys don't know what RTY is, it is an excellent instrument. It's like, it's comparing I don't know if this is a good analogy, but to me, it's like the crude oil of the index market. It's $5 a tick. The CME recently adopted the Russell contract from the ICE exchange, and you don't have to pay for it. And probably, I would say 99 or a large percentage of you guys are looking at the S&P anyway. So might as well add RTY to your trading privileges. You're not going to pay extra for it. And it has some decent movements throughout the day. All these small caps do. Okay. So what I'm doing right now is I am telling the charts to communicate with the DOM, right? So that if I put something on the charts, it's going to populate on the DOM. And all you have to do, it's very easy to set up, is select the trade tab and check this, chart trade mode on, okay? So once again, I'm selecting the trade tab and selecting chart trade mode on. Now I can trade directly off the charts and you would see it populate on the DOM, or if I trade off the DOM, you're going to see it populate on the charts. And I'll show you an example of this. I'm going to select quantity of one contract. I like having quick click enabled, which is just one click order management to enter and exit an order. What's a nice even number? Let's try to put a buy limit order at 28.54 even. I am just left clicking on that axis and bam. You can see right here, I have a buy limit order currently resting at that exact price at 28.54. So once again, I selected trade. I selected chart trade mode on, and then also show orders and positions just to show my open orders. Placed a trade off of the DOM at 28.54 even, and it populated on the chart. All right. Now I can click and drag this open order off of the charts, and it will do it on the DOM as well. So I'm taking that, dragging it down to a different price. So let's go to 52 even. I unleft click and it moved the order to 28.52. If it worked correctly, it should move on the DOM as well. Let's see it. Here we go. 52 even. Okay, so they work. They work in harmony with each other. It's an extremely cool feature. We're getting a lot of positive feedback behind it. One thing that I do note, though, that there is two different connections. That most people aren't aware of. There is price connectivity and there is order connectivity. So there could be a scenario where you drop pricing or order routing on one of the programs and the other one's working. So in cases like that, this is electronic trading. People don't understand that there's an infinite amount of variables that go into just placing a trade. It's directing an order, like delivering a UPS package from your front door to the exchange server, where then it resides, and then it has to communicate that back to you. So in between that, logistically, is just like so many back channels that it has to go through in order routing. So, you know, if things do not appear as they should, this is why we have a direct line of communication to our clientele base. This is why we stress out the value of having that. Where's the server located, Pamela? It's out here in Illinois, next to Chicago, right next to the CME Globex server. So in terms of a competitive advantage in geographic location, we're right at home base. We're right next to the CME and CBOT, which is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and Chicago Board of Trade. A lot of people don't realize because they're so used to hearing NYSE and New York. New York stocks, Chicago's futures. We're the hub of all futures, at least with the Globex server. The Eurex server is located in Germany. I forgot exactly where, but it's in Deutschland. Frankfurt. Someone just help me out. It's in Frankfurt, Germany. So we also connect to that as well. A contract that if you have weird work hours, you don't mind paying $21 a month, which in my mind, you're trying to make that up when trading futures. If I'm not making $21 a month trading futures, maybe I shouldn't be trading, after obviously a lot of practice. But the FDXM, which is not the full size FDX contract that margins like 20 grand or 20,000 euro, which is an extremely large position, to the mini DAX, which is FDXM. It's 1/5 the size, I believe, of the full size FDX contract. And if you were trading the regular hours and the indexes for the US are not moving around, you should look into that and investigate it. At least, you can enable it for a month and then take it off. That's another cool thing that people don't understand with our company versus others. Other companies, they just give you a bundled rate for data feeds, right? So they charge you $15 a month to access all 4 exchanges. We realize that maybe someone's only an S&P trader, so they only want to trade CME products, which is $5 plus we tack on $1, so it's only $6 a month. Because we're not going to bill you for exchanges that you don't even view. What's the point? We don't nickel and dime you guys. We try to keep as much money in your trading account for you guys to trade, and I hope you appreciate that. All right, so I connected the dots between communications of the Dome and Sierra, right? So now it's working in harmony with each other. Let's do a regular bracket order on Infinity, and then I'll show you what it looks like on the charts. I'm just going to get in at buy market. I didn't have auto selected. I'm going to set my bracket. You can see I have a profit target of 4 ticks, stop loss of 4 ticks. On the charts, it's in there. You can see there's my entry +1 at 28.57, and it literally says open next to the order. This means it's resting on the exchange server. Now this is pretty tight. It's hard to see. So I'm just going to click and expand this window so that you can see both order types. A little bit easier to manage. Now, if we click and drag this to a different price, it's going to click and drag it on the Dome. So it's at 59.25. Right here, it's at 59.25. Drag it up a little bit. 28.59.75. 28.59.75. So they're working perfectly. Now, if I canceled one order, and I'm just left clicking on that numerical X on the profit target, it's going to cancel the bracket entirely because it's an OCO bracket, which is order cancels order. Can I configure multiple exits for multi-lots? Dudley, yes, you can. We'll get in that in here in just a little bit. Do you offer top of book data only, not full depth? No, it's the full 10 ticks deep. Al, I don't even know what top of book is, to be honest with you. And I've been here for a while, so I don't know. Maybe I'm not acclimated with what that is, but we are to offer full depth. Can I get stocks also? No, Ken. We only provide data for the exchanges that we connect to, which is electronic futures. So you're going to have to deal with an equity account or a stock account and have multiple brokerage accounts if you want to do biz with us, which most people have. Can I change the order information data on the chart and the position? Yeah, you can. So let's do that again. So that's kind of what I just showed, Jeff. So here I'm going to send in a bracket order on my position again. So I have my bracket. So what information do you want to change, Jeff? So I can click and drag and change the information on there. How it's displayed on the chart. Yeah, you can. So Jeff, what you would do is there is, you mean like the color display or the lines, stuff like that, I would imagine? Like instead of a red line, have this purple for a profit target. And the position, yeah, you can, well, the position's in there, so you wouldn't be able to do anything with the position, Jeff, until you flatten this out or add on to it. But if you want to change the color scheme of it, you're selecting global settings, general settings. Oh, excuse me. It's global settings, graphic settings, and then it is it's a chart trade window, like the background, what these different settings are. I don't know. You can literally customize everything on here, so it's hard for me to remember exactly which one it is. Order line, there we go. Buy limit, order line, sell limit. Let's see if it works. Let's change this to orange. Apply. Oh, maybe it's not order line. Buy, stop, sell. I don't know. It's in here though. I don't want to spend this whole presentation me trying to figure out which exact order it is. But that was just going, Jeff, to global settings, graphic settings. I scroll down to chart trading, and it was one of these. Okay. Now another thing that you can set up is Sierra or ATCharts has an order entry bar. One thing that I want to say, let's go back. Let's back it up. Let's select the trade tab. So here's a common mistake that people make is they select trade simulation mode on. Okay. If you have that selected, that means that the DOM does not communicate with the charting software, and you can be logged into both live mode on the DOM and then have ATCharts set to simulator. So in essence, you don't know if you're trading live or not because you're trading on the DOM and the orders aren't populating on ATCharts because you have trade simulation mode on. So always keep this unchecked. Okay, always keep that unchecked. Good rule of thumb. You can also lock your trading so you can't actually place trades off that. I'm not sure why you wouldn't do that if you're in this presentation. So Sierra has a trading window. Okay, I'm going to select trade. You can also select show orders and fills, so that shows your entry and your stop loss. But I'm going to attach a trade window to my chart. Okay. And click flatten just to liquidate that. Now, this is where you want to set up your predetermined profit targets and stop losses. And someone requested a multi-contract setup. So let's do that. So let's do a multi-contract. So here's the main window. If you just wanted to trade off this, you can click, of course, your quantities, select flatten, reverse, cancel all, just like you did off of this window, the trade DOM. Another cool thing is that when you have created a predetermined strategy, you can select this M button and select save configuration. And then next time you want to use that particular setup, you can select it on this drop-down menu. So, and you can have an infinite amount. So if you want to do your Russell volatility trade bracket, you can just select this drop-down and have the predetermined save one. You'll know when the Russell's going nuts and apply that bracket order. So, okay, so let's do this for a 3-contract setup, okay? I have my quantity set to 3, right? Quantity is 3, time and force. Always select day. We do enable GTC orders or good till cancel orders only if you have $25,000 or above with us. All right. So most of you, I think, that are opening up a regular retail account, maybe fall below that threshold. So if you had GTC selected and you try to get in the market or get out of the market, you're going to get an error every single time. So don't have that selected. Make sure it's day. Secondly, with our targets, this is where we set up our multi-target setup, okay? Now, the first thing that we want to do is select, let's select our stop order, okay? Or so first, let's do our profit target. So I have quantity 3 selected. I have quantity 3 because that was set at 3. I'll show you how to change that. Obviously, since it's a profit target, we want that as a limit order. Quantity here is 3. So I want to do 3 different profit targets. So I'm going to do quantity 1. And then I'm going to add another target. So all I'm doing is setting up my 3 different profit targets. But you have the ability to customize this. And the offset limit is 10 ticks. Let's do our another one for 15 ticks. And then let's do our next one for 20 ticks. Okay? I'm just clicking add. Oops, I had that set it to stop. So I have target 1, 10 ticks, target 2. Let's do 15 ticks. It's just see, I'm already. There's so much that you can customize with this. It gets frustrating at points, you know. So always ask us questions. You can see that I even messed that up. So I just want to confirm and look at it. Target 1 is for 10 ticks. The quantity is 1. I'm going to do another target, make this for 20 ticks, and have my quantity set as 1. Okay, I'm going to add that. I don't know why I did that. Whatever, I'll just do a stop loss. Maybe it's because I didn't do stop yet. So I'm going to do, I have a stop loss in there, confirm that it's a stop, quantity 3. I'll do my stop, 8 ticks away, not 88. Let's do another limit order. Quantity 1, quantity 1, 8 ticks, stop 10 ticks, quantity, stop offset is 3. Stop 1, target 1. So I had 3 different profit targets. Yeah, see, see. So it tells you if the bracket does not match up here, you'll see that it's red. I just made sure that each one of these targets is set to 1 contract, and my stop is set to it's set to 1. So we got to add this. Add. So now I have my 3 different profit targets with my different stops, and they're all selected and set at the same time. Okay, and it says, you can see that the L here stands for profit. So I know how much I'm going to make on each one of these profit targets, and this is in dollars. So quantity 1 is a 1 contract profit for $120. Target 2 is going to be 20 ticks away from my entry, profit $250. Target 3, 8 ticks away from my entry, quantity 1, profit of $100, and then I have each one of my stops set to the same, which is 125 on the loss. Okay. Now I'm going to save this. You have target number 2 set for 200. Yeah, I did. Thanks for showing that. So I'm going to save this. Okay. So this is my 3 contract setup. Have everything the way I want. Have my target and stop losses. All I'm going to do is, where am I going to save it? On my main tab, I'm going to select M, save configuration. I'm going to save this as 3 lot ES low vol. Save. Oh. So that's it. Done. So now I have this set up, and this is what you're talking about, Dudley. If I got in, I'll also use attached orders. What this means is that it's going to send this attachment right when I get in the market, okay? So I'm going to select buy market. It's 4 o'clock, and I was trying to get this beforehand. Click buy market, and you can see I got in at 28.57 quarter. I have my 3 different profit targets and my stop loss associated with it. I can very easily just cancel all these or move them around by clicking cancel all. Okay? Here's my original entry. Let's flatten it out. Another thing to note, that if I have this bracket set up, I want to make sure that I don't have auto checked on my DOM. If I have auto checked and use attached orders, it's going to double up around my bracketing. So if you're trading directly off the charts, make sure that this is definitely unchecked. Okay. Once again, click. Let's just get in with a buy at the market for quantity 3. Buy. You can see I got my entry price. No, it went in. Set number 3 to a lower price. Michelle, that's only if you do that with the AT Dome. With Sierra, you can do it separately. So you have 10.28, and it went in exactly 10 ticks above my entry, 8 ticks above my entry, and then 20 lots. And then you can see I have my stop for all 3 of these orders, quantity 3. And since I had quantity 3 on the stop and set these in separately, this is something that a lot of people want. Is they want the ability to click and drag their stop orders. Since I put these in separately as 3 different stops, all I have to do is click and drag this, and you can kind of break up the stop orders. It's a feature that a lot of people want. So you can click and drag behind the market or line everything up. If I canceled my stop order, I have the ability to just cancel one of these order types too, which a lot of people like, okay? So I'm going to, if I click on this X, I'm going to sell stop quantity 1. You can see that's canceled. Cancel. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Pretty cool. Of course, Sear has all these different order types. Personally, I like just dealing with a profit target and stop loss, but you also have the ability to set up trailing stops. Trailing stop limits I don't really like. But you can enable all these different order types, and just remember that you're adding it to this main field. Let's remove all this. You're adding it to the main field, and then you're messing with the internal data of it. Quantity, the OCO group that you want it part of. You can have different OCO groups where if one profit target is filled, canceled, one stop loss in association, and with a different one. But that kind of, it's a really nice feature for sure. That kind of does it. This is gonna. I just wanted to show you the ability to first connect the quote board and the DOM with the charting software, and then secondly, how to start messing with enabling trading on ATCharts, which is Sierra charts, and then thirdly, just show you how the communication between both the charting software and the DOM, it works quick. You know, you guys saw it firsthand. It's extremely efficient, quick. We built this thing for speed of execution. It's totally light on your program and system resources. But one thing to note, if you have poor internet, like anything below, in my mind, below download speed of 25 megabytes per second, you're not going to see performance like you normally would. So everybody's internet provider nowadays has the ability to bump you up above at least 25 megabytes download speed on the low end. And if you don't know what your download speed is, all you got to do is go to the easy free resource, www.speedtest.net. Okay? Once again, that's speedtest.net. It's absolutely free. You can click on go and test the ping of your download speed. okay? And no, I get this frequently as well. Because you pinged 100 megabyte download speed on the start of the month does not mean that you're going to ping the same at the end of the month. And that's what data providers don't want you to know, is sometimes they lessen the bandwidth towards the end of the month or in the middle of the month or your billing cycle. So this is the best way to call up your internet service provider, say, what the heck's going on here? My download speed was 100 megabytes per second towards the beginning of the month, and now I'm at 20. You guys are ripping me off. Do something. I'm a trader. I need my speed up there. You guys are costing me money. I'm going to change my internet service provider. I obviously don't, be mean on the phone. I'm on the other side of that spectrum a lot of times, but we want to make sure that you guys have ample download speed. That kind of does it for the presentation. Thanks for tuning in. I might jump in and do these more, especially since we have a lot of end users trading off the dome. I'll show you detailed setups on that. I don't know when this presentation is going to be. We're extremely busy now that the fall months have started. Dudley, we do not have that as of yet. It's a common question. It's currently in beta testing. Dudley's asking about a mobile app. It just, Dudley, to be quite frank, our data is raw. It's extremely it's what you call unfiltered data. There's no mobile app that can handle it as of right now. Since we give you the best, quickest form of execution, you don't want to trade off your phone. I mean, you absolutely don't. I get like Thinkorswim or different vendors give that ability. You don't know that order's even going through and hitting the exchange. This isn't like stock trading. This is definitely not stock trading. This is Wild West type of environment. Ken, it's unfiltered. It's raw data. We don't coalesce or bundle our data and give it to you in packets. You're going to get the best feed possible with the best price action possible because we don't filter it, or quote unquote filter. That's why, we have a lot of clients that use market profile and they use number bars and they want to see the difference between the bid and offer. So because of that, they want good data, and bundled data wouldn't work for that. How reliable is AT during peak news releases? Al, if your internet is decent, if you did the speed test and you're running 50 megabytes per second and you're with a different provider, let's say Thinkorswim, pull up our dome side by side with TOS during FOMC or any type of news. We'll blow it out of the water in terms of quickness of speed, and you will visually see the difference in your feed. Our feed is great. It's really meant for speed. Please repeat the lowest speed needed. Chris, in ideal world, the lowest that is decent is like 25 megabytes per second. But ideally, if you're running this type of system, and our system's light, and charting software as well, I would recommend above 50. Above 25, for sure, Tom. Anything below 25 is just not decent. I would do above 50 if I could. The lowest I would be, easy to accept would be 25, but still during high points of economic and market volatility, you're probably going to run into a couple issues such as platform freezing and that. No Linux version yet, Al. I don't even know if they're working on that. I'm not sure. Any other questions, guys? I'm gonna wrap up here in a little bit. Just type them in. I'm gonna go over the risk disclosure once again. Trading futures, options on futures, and retail off-exchange foreign currency transactions involve substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for our investors. You should carefully consider whether trading is suitable for you in light of your circumstances, knowledge, and financial resources. You may lose all or more of your initial investment. Opinions, market data, and recommendations are subject to change at any time. Past performance is not indicative of future results. So that was the basics about how to set up Infinity AT trading platform with the charts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the presentation. Might be some news to come. Al said our TOS is really bad in comparison to Infinity. That's the feedback that we get back, man. And there's nothing bad to say about that. A different brokerage. They're just not built and structured for these type of volatile environments. And Bruce said, I don't mean to make this Thinkorswim bash session, but Bruce said the TOS charts are horribly lagging. Yeah, so with futures, there's so much leverage on the line, guys. You're trading instruments that are truly valued at $100,000, and you're trading, with $500 a contract in your account. There's just a lot of volatility. This is extremely risky trading. You want a system that is built and constructed for this type of environment. You wouldn't go to the dentist for brain surgery, right? Even though you're going to a doctor. Our software was created for futures. We built it for futures. You should use it for futures. Versus TT Trader, our software is right up there with TTL, and you don't need to pay $1,200 a month for it. It's the most similar platform, parallel to TD that I've ever come across. And then David said TradeStation. I don't mean to laugh. TradeStation locks up on news events. At least mine did. It's a common complaint that we get, David. So I'm not, I have nothing bad to say about other companies. They just have way too large of platforms that aren't created for futures during heightened points of volatility. Is when a lot of people want to be in the market, to be quite frank. So they want something that can keep up with the current state of the market, and that's when the most data is flowing into your computer. So you don't. If I was in the market and there was some ridiculous FOMC news statement that came out, my software was locked up, I would have a panic attack. Because you know what these markets can move? That's going to be drop 20 points during a bad number. You don't want to be locked up in the market. And secondly, you try to call someone and you're put on hold for 20 minutes after FOMC. You got to be kidding me. That's ridiculous. That's why we have direct communication support with you guys. And it's hard to put an actual figure or number behind that, right? Until you're actually in a situation like that. So we have an excellent representation. We're known for our support, platform stability. As long as your internet download speed's up there, I think you guys are going to be in really good shape with us. But that does it for the presentation. I'm going to go home. Me and my wife just recently purchased a house, and she is, 7 months pregnant now. So as you can imagine, I used to live downtown. I got to run to the train and get home and do whatever she asks of me because I'm a great husband. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it, man. First kid. We're excited, nervous, all the in between. And since we just moved to our house, I'm stuck with setting everything up. Doing the baby's room, moving every single box, while my pregnant wife sits back and tells me what to do. I don't think that there's going to be a recording, Dave. I'll do one of these again. Thanks, Kurt. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, good luck. I'm going to need it, Chris. There's been moments where I just hold my breath and nod my head. Keep the kid out of Chi-Town politics. I'll try to. And actually, maybe it's a girl. Maybe she should get in Chi-Town politics because they are corrupt politicians and they make a lot of money. Maybe she should become the next mayor. Who knows? Or the comptroller of Chicago. Gosh. No, we're out in the burbs. There's too much. It's just. I want my kid to have a yard, and I grew up in a cul-de-sac, and we bought a house with a cul-de-sac. It's nice and cute. We lived in a one-bedroom. If you could believe this, for the past 3 years, we lived in a one-bedroom on the 30th floor with two 80-pound dogs. There's absolutely no way we could, in a one-bedroom, so it was like 700 square feet, with two 80-pound dogs. There's no way I could have a baby in that mix. We'd be ripping our hair out. I don't think that my family would even be able to fit on the elevator. If you include a baby stroller with that, get out of town. Not doing it. No way. But that does it, guys. Have a great night. Have a great Monday. I appreciate the feedback. So if you need anything or want anything, get in contact with me or Patrick or any one of your reps here. Direct line is, or just email me. It's just M as in Marcus, Z as in zebra @ infinityfutures.com. Thanks again. I'm going to sign off here. Thanks, guys.